the Running Mates show. Today we are joined by Wakili Jane Nyaboke from Kisii County and a practicing lawyer in Nairobi. Jane wears many hats, and I'm glad to introduce her to you. Jane, karibu sana to the Running Mates show.
Asante sana.
Kindly introduce yourself to our viewers.
Yes, I want to say hello to everybody. And thank you so much, Kathy, for inviting me here. These are the opportunities as women we look forward to. So we must thank you first and foremost. My name is Jane Nyaboke, as introduced. I'm an advocate of the High Court of Kenya. I have practiced law for many, many years. And I have done a lot of legal work, I would say, running from criminal practice, children law, until we formed the Children's Act to protect the kids. I have done a lot of cases for women in matters divorce, in matters sharing property, and in matters abuse, to the extent that many times people walk to my office with issues and I sort them out. I do them pro bono, things that I learned to do since I was a young person.
Okay.
That you must learn to give, not just to get.
Yeah.
I have practiced all over Kenya, not just in Nairobi, just that my office is in Nairobi, the head office. I once had an office in Kisii, and I will talk shortly why I had to open up an office in Kisii.
Okay. So,
Yes.
Jane, other than practicing law and handling the cases that you've just mentioned, you also have some serious interest in politics. You're actually what I would call a seasoned politician. I know you've run twice. Please tell us how that journey has been like.
Yes. First, I must admit that I'm very passionate about rights, people's rights. I'm very passionate about people growing from one spot to another, going to the higher level. So during my legal practice, I have had to do a lot of matters, especially, like I've said, pro bono. I even remember an example where a child was abused in Kisii, and I had to drive myself all the way there because nobody was doing anything about it.
Yeah.
The man was hiding in the next clan. So the clan is hiding him because this is ours. Like the child who has been abused is not theirs. So I had to go, do posters, plant them in every market in Kisii, so that anybody who saw that man anywhere could report to the police station. I involved the governor, I involved the wife of the governor, because I thought it was also a job of a first lady as governor to come out and fight for that child.
Okay.
Be surprised that my single effort led to a person, the culprit, being arrested.
Okay.
I even once had an office in Kisii, simply because I wanted people to be able to open up and come to my office and tell me what was happening. I was doing all this for free.
Okay.
So my journey from legal practice to politics. Why politics? The reason why I went to politics is because I felt I'm not reaching the crowd. I needed to reach the world.
Okay.
To be able to do something for a big community other than court. You know, court, you go there, you are representing one person today, one person tomorrow. At the end of the month, maybe you've only dealt with 30 people or 60 people. But my point was, how is it that we can change most of the ills in this country?
Exactly.
How is it that we can protect the girl child from abuse? How is it that we can get women to come out and have a voice? And I started from Kisii because I can tell you this, and without any fear of contradiction, that Kisii women have not been allowed to have their space. They are left in the kitchen, as it were. That is they are born destined to just be in that kitchen, and they often don't come out as they should. So I said, if I went to Kisii and I stood for politics, I'll be setting standards. I'll tell you what, I also set standards as a lawyer. I'm the first woman to become a lawyer from Kisii.
From Kisii. Congratulations.
Yes, I should be in the Guinness Book of Records of Kisii if there was any.
True.
So having been first, and I was again the first woman to be appointed by the president to be a chairman of a state corporation, water regulatory board.
Okay.
So, and I felt that I can be there strong for the women. I can there be strong for rights. I can be there to fight corruption. So I felt like I should get out there. I'm too confined in the court.
Okay.
I need to go out there and do things that the world can appreciate. Move the woman from where they are to a higher level.
Okay.
So through that, I stood for elections in 2013 in Kisii. I did stand from a small party for the people. And the reason I did that, and this I would want the world to know, or Kenya to know, that it's extremely unfair to divide a community into clans and say that if we're having a woman clan, for example, we are having a senator coming from Bobasi, that is where I come from, then you can't also have a woman from there.
Exactly.
So you can only have a woman from Bonjari. And Bonjari for real, because that woman who came to, the first time we started the politics of women rep, the woman came from Bonjari. Obviously, because it has been divided.
Yeah.
Not because we are looking for a strong woman to come out and deal with the women issues. So that is what happened then in Kisii. It was divided up. I don't want to put too much time into it. I know we don't have a lot of time, but it was divided. The senator came from a particular place, governor from a particular place, and it was named before casting the vote.
Okay.
And I did raise my voice and say, no, this is the first time we're having women a chance.
Yeah.
So let all the good women come out and let's see who it is that
wins.
That wins.
Okay.
But it was never to be.
Okay.
But while on that, then 2017, I stood in Kisii because already I'd made my name there. And I wanted now, I was no DM, so I wanted to stand in Kisii. But the chairman of the party did persuade us that we needed one woman in Kisii and one in Nairobi.
Okay.
And since we were two lawyers who were standing there, he felt one of us was to come to Nairobi. And he persuaded me, and I was persuaded that if I came to Nairobi and there was that vacancy in Nairobi, then I will be able to maneuver through it. But again, as it were, politics is about negotiation.
Yeah.
Again, I was told, okay, let's have Pasaris in Nairobi, and then we'll deal with nominations. But that is now history.
Exactly. I think I've listened to quite a number of women leaders, and especially when it comes to the party list, there's a lot of things that happen that you can get things promised to you, and when you look at the party list, you can't even see your own name on the party list.
Correct.
It actually something very. It can be demoralizing for women, because when you've given your all to a party and then you figure out that your name was not there, what advice would you give to women, especially women who actually would want to be in the party list? How can they get their names there?
It is quite discouraging, Kathy, like you've said.
Yeah.
But the point is that when we are dealing as women wanting to take our space, then you don't start living with regrets. You say, I hope that the woman that has gotten it is also a woman, but what is she going to do for women? That is what disappoints me, not about who is in that party list.
Okay.
It is the person who has been nominated. What have they done for women? You've seen us struggling with the 1/3 gender rule. How many of our women stood up and fought? How many of our women said that this government, the parliament, is not properly constituted because we don't have 1/3 of the women.
Yeah.
So when it becomes, when it disappoints us to that extent, that's when we start saying, how are we going to get proper women in that party list? How are we going to get women who really know what the agenda is in the parliament? But rumor has had it that the people who get into that party list are connected. I do not know in which manner they are connected, but when you look through it, you say, yes, for real, there must be some kind of connection, because you can see someone who completely is unable to even tell you what politics is all
It's all
about.
about.
Or what
Yeah.
is your agenda? What are you going to achieve?
Yeah.
When are you going to move this motion or that motion? So mine is to advise that at the very end of the day, whether it's a nomination or what is or an election, it's very, very important that to get a strong woman who has got the country at heart. I'm not just talking about women. We also talking about the boy child and the girl child.
Okay.
We are also talking about women. When are we going to wake up and also walk through that rope?
Okay.
And we can only do that if we have strong women who can hold our hands and walk with us that journey.
True. So, Wakili, when you look at the party list, the party list that you just spoke about, the party list has contributed to an increase in number of women. And of course, the affirmative seats, the women reps. I know we are not yet there, just like you have said. But we seem, and I want to agree with you, family, that we increased the quantity, we have the number increased, but we did not increase the quality. Because we have so many women like yourself, women leaders who have education experience and they're interested in politics, but you find that they are not actively, they are not the ones who end up in the party list. And you also find out that the majority of them also are not interested in politics at all. What would be your advice to women who are well educated, they possess the education, they have the quality, the good quality of leadership, but they are shying away from joining politics?
You know, it is because women, generally speaking, are afraid of being called names.
Okay.
Women, again, who are married, you will find that their husbands will really discourage them. There is this bad notion that when you go to politics, then you are a bad person, you are a bad woman.
Yeah.
But I want to assure the women that the only way this society can change, the only way we can have equality, fairness, equity, is when the women will take position. Because a woman, as she's made, is a fair person because she's the one who would take care of the children. She will not discriminate against anyone. A woman does not have a tribe, as you will agree with me, Kathy.
It is true.
A woman would be born in Kisii, be married in Embu.
Yeah.
A woman would be born in Northeastern, find their way to Mombasa.
True.
So by our own nature, we are not really tribalistic. So those are the things that we want to look at. Women, generally speaking, are not corrupt. We need to change our systems. We need to change our country. We need to have a country that we can be proud of. And you know, a woman, when they talk like a country to be proud of, you again have in mind immediately your children. You want to see posterity, that after me, what is it that children are going to get?
True.
Whereas I think, and with respect to men, they'll be thinking about what am I driving today? What's the world thinking about me today? It is not about the children and the inheritance and the future of our children. Okay. But I will tell the women that you cannot sit back there and be given a seat on a silver plate. Just get out. Let's all be together as women and fight together.
True.
And if we are together, we shall go very, very far. True. So let them be brave enough, come out. In any case, people will get to know you. Forget about those names that you are called. People will get to know.
The true you.
Jane Nyaboke has been a lawyer. We know her. Yeah. We know what cases she has done in court. Yeah. Therefore, whoever is talking about this, they are just lying and trying to discourage her. So I would want as many women to come out and join politics. And Kathy, when we keep on talking about 1/3 rule, we are not saying that women are restricted to 30%. No. Yeah. We are saying we can also be the 2/3. Yeah. So that in Rwanda, you have women who are 50-50. In fact, the women are more in parliament. Yeah. So we look forward to a situation like that. You can see now we have every reason to smile. We have Mother Kome as the CJ because most of these matters, politics, they end up in court. So when you have also a fair bench, making decisions, then people get also encouraged. Let me also say that the judiciary should also contribute a lot to making giving fair judgments, so that as you walk to court, you also are confident
yes.
that you are going to win.
Yes.
Political parties, tribunals, they should also be very fair and fast. You know, even internal matters of parties, they end up in tribunals.
Yeah.
So the tribunal should also try and exercise fairness in their rulings. So at the very end of the day, we hope that 2022, we shall be having more women in Parliament and in the Senate. And we also look forward very soon to have a woman president.
I agree.
Why not?
I agree.
Yes,
it is possible.
Not? Yes.
So, Jane, you talked about disputes and settling disputes internally within parties. And at times, women candidates have tried to settle matters within the party, and it is not possible. And they end up in court, doing these petitions and those kind of things. You are very experienced, and I know you have handled several election petitions. What really discourages women from filing petitions, especially where they lose unfairly?
I will tell you, because financial constraints.
Okay.
You know, like I said, our country is more paternalistic.
Okay.
So women do not have property, although right now things have changed. But we are dealing with history, which has been very unfair. Women do not own title documents. Women have been discriminated in a manner that the little money they may get when they are running for politics, at the end of the day, maybe they don't have anything in their pocket, because disputes also cost money. So that is one of the things that would discourage the woman. Another thing is that the atmosphere around when you are doing politics is quite rough.
Yeah.
It's a very rough terrain. So to that extent, again, you'll find that women would fear not only to run for politics, but also to challenge the person who has won, because it could easily put your life in danger or your loved ones in danger. But as we go opening up our society and getting security on course, because I think it's important that when a woman runs for politics, she should be given security. So with that kind of security and confidence, then a woman will be able to run. Two, that we should be able to get some kind of help internationally to finance some of the very good women who are willing to stand, but they do not have the finance to support it. What I would then suggest is that when it comes to politics, like inside, when you're dealing with a party dispute within the party, I would advise myself that they should not ask for fees, because it's an internal matter.
Yeah.
The women have already paid. Like I remember we were paying almost 250,000 to stand for women rep. Surely, then that money should be enough to deal with the dispute. After all, it's a party matter. I've paid my fees. I've been rigged out. I'm running to my party. I have the evidence. Why should I again pay fees? So that is what actually stops people from moving forward, and also feeling very, very discouraged.
Okay.
That this is my party and they are not doing anything about it.
About this.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
You have served in the board, I think, of the Center for Multi-Party Democracy.
Yes.
Perhaps you could educate us about what does the organization do and what were you able to achieve while working with them?
So what we essentially were doing, and I remember that time, we were, J.B. Muturi, the speaker, was our chair at one time. So what we were doing is that it was all the parties sending a representative to that organization, so that we could share ideas and be able to sort out issues of dispute between party and party, and we would formulate policies and agree, all of us together, so that it becomes what rules all the parties, like set regulations in which then every other party would adhere to. And there was also now money availed for that particular organization, so that at the end of the day, you have quality people coming to sit in that organization And at the end of the day, they are at least given some stipends so that they can be able to achieve the goals.
Okay.
It was all a question of calming down the climate within the country. And politics has not really been one of those very nice fields where you can play football. There has been a lot of infighting, a lot of sometimes injuries. When one party is fighting against the other party, you get that people are inciting the youth, and until to the extent that you find that the youth really hate each other. And for what? For politics. And you find that up there people are working together.
They are friends.
And by the way, they are doing business together. They are partners. So those are some of the things that CMD was doing, and I still continues to do to date.
Good job.
Yes.
Good job. So you talked about resources, and that we need a lot of resources, or women need resources to run effective campaign. How did you get resources to run well? In both general elections.
I didn't get any resources, Kathy.
You didn't.
Did
the party support you?
No.
Okay.
I did not get any money from the party. This could have grown, to be honest. What I did is that it is something that I was passionate about. It is something I wanted to do. I wanted to move from the law courts, from the corridors in court, and get out there and educate the people. I did a lot of civic education as well, and I was doing it on my own. There's something else I wanted to share with you that I did. Remember when we wanted to change the constitution, 2010? I personally, without anybody's money, carried the constitutional, the booklets that were small booklets, manuals, I would say it. And I went to Kisii, and every church, every funeral, every meetings, I supplied personally. And I tell you that even just a single person, if you want to change society, you can. I went to the radios and I talked about the Constitution, what was in there from one to the end. I went to the Constitution and taught, and I still do, using vernacular. I still do teach people about their rights. The last time I was talking about is after death, what happens? Is it the will that must be written, or is it that people are dishonest and they disinherit, especially the women? So all these things I do out of my own good will. So I did not get back to your question. I did not get any funding.
It was self-funded.
Yes, but I did my campaign from day one to the end in Kisii using my own resources. But people heard me, people listened to me.
They listened to you.
Yes.
I know you're preparing for Kisii come 2022. And there must be several things that really push, and you've just told us some of those things. You wanted to see change, you believed in equity, and you wanted people to learn more about their rights. I would like you to tell us the 5 key things, development issues that you would want to address as a leader from Kisii.
Yes. In fact, there are so many that I will randomly mention them. Sorry if I may not be able to say the one that people expect. But Kisii is a small county, as I would say, in terms of what they have. Kisii has 41 banks. What does that show? It shows that the economy in Kisii, compared to a GDP, yes, banks. Not branches. In other words, there's a lot of movement of money in Kisii, and that they have a lot of children also abroad. Kisii is concentrated so much on education that in every family you will find that either their children are abroad or they are here, or they have graduated, they have jobs or they don't have jobs. So one thing that I would want to do, especially for the women, They produce the banana. They produce all the vegetables you see being sold in Nairobi. Most of the banana come from Kisii.
Yeah.
Passion fruit come from Kisii. Sugarcane. Okay? They also have a lot of resources.
Okay.
But what happens, has anybody gone and told them, let the middleman not take away your crop? Come into a society, form a circle, dry your vegetables. You can export them abroad. You can send them to Egypt. You can send them to countries that are really generally dry. Has anybody done that for them? No. Has anybody gone to Kisii and found that a lot of young girls are in the streets of Kisii? On the streets. You go there in the evening, they're all over. Has anybody gone and started a school, even a school of knitting, and take these children away and put them there so that we have a clean society, so that we have children who have hope? Has that been done? No. What you see in Kisii mostly, you see a lot of border. A lot of them. In fact, I think you even be afraid of walking on the streets of Kisii because of the borders. When you talk to those boys and girls, you will find that they are graduates, university graduates. When you walk around Nairobi and you happen to talk to the boys who are guarding homes, you will find some of them or most of them are Kisii. So I talk to them and I find out they are graduates. What is being done about it? Has anybody gone and said, look, these are children are educated, let me start up some kind of organization or some circle so that we can put them in there, some polytechnic, and improve their skills so that we can get them a place. Have we done the civic education to the extent that we are telling the women out there, look, you can do it. Just come, let's have a conversation. Let's sit together and let us know what else you can do, how else you can improve your crop, how else you can sell it for more money. So there is a whole lot of things that one would want to deal with in Kisii. Look at the water, the rain in Kisii. It rains throughout. Where is the water going? Why don't we have ponds and dams so that at the end of the day you can be able to give them as a resource so that even if they were to keep their cattle, they know that throughout the year we have water. There is a lot of things that one can do in Kisii. Industries, I've told you about the banana. What can't you make from the banana? From wine to oil for the skin. What can't you do with avocado? You know, Kisii is now known for avocado. What is it you are doing about it, other than middlemen coming to Kisii and getting them even when they are not ripe? Why wouldn't we have an industry where we do oil for cooking? We can do oil for beauty. There is so much that we can do. All one needs is to go to Kisii and go with passion. Go knowing that you are the servant of the people. Then move the people to the next level. And you know, when you talk as a governor, or as a deputy governor, people would listen.
People will listen.
Spend money and do civic education. Spend money and make people feel that they own Kisii. Let people feel like they are. Let them not feel like they cannot negotiate for their crop. It is theirs. They are planting it. Yes, negotiate. You can say we can only sell this through a circle. We are not going to sell to you as individuals. So please don't come into our homes to look for this. Come to the factory. And you will get them there at the end of the month. The mamas go there and get money together. If it is 20, 30,000, 50,000 per home, you know how much the woman will do with that kind money. Of money.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
So there is so much into asking for leadership. If you ask for leadership, please go and lead the people.
I can see. You just need that opportunity.
Yes.
You really know what can transform Kisii.
Yes.
Yeah. You're one of the few ladies that have applied for the position of commissioner for IEBC. I do not know whether you've gone through the interviews as yet, but tell us about that process and what you think you'll be offering to the commission.
First of all, let me talk about politics vis-a-vis IEBC. Without going into the issue of interviews, because people might say I'm being interviewed by Kathy in advance.
Yeah.
The greatest problem we have had in this country
Okay.
is the issue of IEBC.
Okay.
First and foremost, IEBC should be spelling they should even be announcing a riot act on anyone who does not meet the integrity test, chapter 6. Kathy, how many times have we been told that the people who will stand for governor must have a degree?
A degree.
As a basic.
Yeah.
How many came up? We didn't have.
Quite a number.
How many of them went and did some exams in some universities? We don't even know their names of those universities.
Yeah.
And they got some kind of degree and handed it over. Yet, we have the DCI. We have someone who can quickly say that this degree, this university doesn't exist. This kind of discipline does not exist in that kind of university. You could find out that, Kathy, even yourself. Find out what University of Nairobi offers.
Yes.
If they offer cooking as a degree, then kind of tell us that this degree exists there.
Yeah.
So that is the beginning of it.
Okay.
How many people do we know who have committed crime and have been to jail? How many thugs, let me call it so, without any fear of contradiction, do we have in positions of politics and nobody does anything about it? And how many of them are even in parliament and they have murdered and we know them? And they have stolen and we know them, who are still sitting as members of parliament. And they will go back, they will again go for election and they will be elected.
Yeah.
Either because of fear, nikikataa kumpigia huyo kura, ataniua.
Yeah.
Right? So that is the beginning of the problem that we have. And if IBC was willing and ready to rectify that list that goes there and return to the party, say so and so is questionable. So and so is questionable.
Yeah.
So that we have people of integrity going to parliament, going to that Senate, even going for presidency.
True.
Yes, we would have moved a lot of steps ahead. I'm hoping that during the interviews of IBC, when they will be interviewing the commissioners, before I go there, can I add that we have been having a IBC that is short of commissioners.
Yes, that is true.
So we don't know how legitimate the decisions they make or what is it we are going to do in the future to rectify those decisions that are made when they are not properly constituted. But having said that, I think it's important that when interviewing the IBC commissioners, we make sure that the Chapter 6 is followed to the letter.
Okay.
We find also the fact that people who are being appointed are brave enough to say no to corruption.
Okay.
And that brings me to corruption in this country.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So that there is nobody going to corrupt someone and say, so and so won, lakini pesa ndio hii. Here is 2-3 million. And this can really help you. You know, in the future, this man can really do a lot for you. And don't be stupid. Don't refuse money. So if we get there, then we would have sorted a lot of problems in this country.
It is true.
And you see, we shall also fear, you know, that riot, whatever.
Yeah.
That if I intend ever to be a member of parliament, if I intend to be a women rep, then I better behave from where I'm coming from. Let me have a clean record.
Yeah.
How much would you have changed society?
Big time. Big time.
Big time.
Yeah.
Yes, and we should reveal whatever it is that they find should be revealed. Let Kenya know who is their brother and who is their sister. Let Kenya know when bad things are done, let them be paraded. So that people also fear to go into corruption, because we have rampant corruption. To the extent that even we have taught our juniors, ordinary employees, that if they do something for you, you are supposed to pay back. If a watchman opens for you the gate as you are leaving, you must give them something. If a police officer stops you by the road and you have a problem, all you need is to give money and you'll pass.
Yeah.
Does that stink?
It does.
It does.
It does.
It does.
It does. Okay. Kenyans don't seem to mind those kind of rogue politicians, because yes, I know IEBC can do something, but even though that can be done from the IBC level, do you think that we also need to educate our people, and especially about Chapter 6 of the Constitution, and tell them that please do not vote for this kind of a person, even before they are stopped? Is that possible?
Very, very possible. We need to put more money as a government on civic education. Learning is a continuous process.
Yes.
You
And
even
information is power.
Yes, information is power.
Yeah.
You even be surprised how ignorant even people who have been elected or nominated are in terms of Chapter 6, in terms of giving to society. I don't know what happened to nationalism. I don't know what happened. Because we are not each other's keeper as Kenyans. You feel suffocated a little sometimes when you see things that are being done or things that are being said, that some money was stolen for real, money that is coming to assist people who are sick.
Exactly.
That you can walk in there and take that money and 10 people are dying, 20 people are dying, 100 people are dying.
Very sad.
Is it that Kenyans can go that low? So what we need is a lot of civic education, but also a lot of nationalism. I don't know where the miracle would come from, where I would be saying, Kathy is my sister. I must be a keeper.
Yeah.
And as I'm your keeper, you also become my keeper. How do you do that? You do that by saying, no, if I take this money for this medicine, it means someone in Kenyatta Hospital will not have money, will not have the drug.
Yeah.
If I decide that I'm the one who is going to give COVID injections, and because I want to charge, in the process, so many people would have died.
Exactly.
When is it that we are going to surrender and say we are going to do something for this country? We are going to change the perception of how people look at things.
True. Okay.
I remember slightly when Michuki was a minister, I think, for transport.
Yes.
And he gave certain rules on how matatu should behave. One time I was driving on Langata Road and I found people walking to work. They were not complaining.
Okay.
They said, if these are the rules we've been given, we support Michuki.
Yeah.
And people were going and walking to work and walking back and happily so. Why am I giving that example? Because if the leader sets standards happily with the people's support, let me tell you, we can go very, very far.
Can happen.
It can happen. It is not impossible.
Good stuff.
Yes.
So as we wind up, young girls and upcoming women leaders, the young ones, have the advantage of people like you. They draw a lot of courage, wisdom, and they learn from you. And I'm sure, as you had told me, you're also doing a lot of mentorship, and I know that. For you, when you're growing up as a young girl in Kisii, who is this woman or who is this leader that you looked up to? You're the first lawyer. You're actually the first lawyer from Kisii land. Where did you draw the encouragement from?
I know everybody says mother, and I want to say mother.
Okay.
I will tell you what, my mother worked so hard to take us to school. My father did a lot of advice.
Okay.
Because he would easily have told me, no, don't do law, go and do education. That women would go do education. That is what most women did.
Okay.
But I also tell you something that really compelled me to become a lawyer. I grew up in a place called Nyangusu in Kisii. There was always border disputes between the Maasai and the Kisii.
Okay.
And it was not a joke. People were being killed. Cousins were killed when we are looking. And then I remember asking my father a long time ago, I think I was very small, maybe 3 years or 4. I said, why now? isn't there anything that can be done about this? Why such unfairness? And you know what was happening? If they came, took away your cattle, they replaced the cattle. Nobody was arrested. So they sat and agreed. But what about those people who had been
Who
killed?
were killed.
So I said there is something unfair around here. Something very, very unfair. So my father was very encouraging when I told him I wanted to become a lawyer. So from beginning, he really was supportive.
So you actually-
But my mother was a person who was passionate about her girls.
Wow.
She said, yes, you can do it, and all of you are going to go to school.
Okay.
We got similar punishments. Yes? And she made sure that if it's water, all of us fetched it, not only the girls. So we were made to believe in ourselves.
Okay.
And you would be surprised, all the girls that my mother brought up have something to write home about and something to be proud of.
Yes.
And we were brought up to be so brave because you can see the atmosphere where we grew up.
Yeah.
There's fights, killings, and what have you. So we learned to be brave enough to go on with our lives despite all that misery.
Oh,
Yes.
great. So thank you very much for coming along. It has been a pleasure having this conversation with you. We've learned a lot from you, and we look forward to more of these conversations, even at the grassroots.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate so much.
So this is the Running Mates show, and it was very nice having Jane Nyaboke on the show. We've learned quite a lot from her. We've drawn a lot of encouragement, especially as the young and upcoming women leaders. Thank you very much, Jane. See you soon, Mashinani, and God bless you.
God bless you too.